This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
Hey everybody, what's up? Let me turn that damn music off. What's up? How's it going? This
thought we were in a game show for a minute.
Oh, I know, man. It's crazy.
Come on down. Our first contestant tonight on Xbox Ultimate. Let's go.
Yeah, dude. Hey,
sorry.
What's up, chat? Hi everybody. Hey baby. Hey Pong.
Hi.
Hey Lupa. Hey Centurion. We have a new look. This is going to evolve because we're kind of switching over to some new stuff. If you're familiar with what's been going on the channel recently, kind of doing some new things, trying to get some new implementations and stuff going to make things more interactive. So I appreciate everybody here. Shout out to Lady in the chat. Shout out to KY Bob in the chat. Shout out to BACfromthedead, Mike. Micah, Indie Gamer, Lord Ruffness. Geez, there's just so many awesome people here already. Peter, Phasma. Thank you,
What's
Tony
up,
Grasso.
guys?
Thank you all for joining in on this episode of Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Yeah, we are a couple short. Psycho, I think, is busy. He may be joining us in a little while. 3-Bit can't make it tonight, and Lady is sick.
Feel better, Lady.
So, Lady, we wish the best for you and the family. I see you in the chat hanging out. So thanks for hanging out in the chat. I know you're not feeling well. So we are going to still have an awesome show. We're going to have a fun show, and we have an awesome guest. This guest is on a couple podcasts that are pretty popular in the community, and he is an awesome guy. He has a YouTube channel that is really cool. In fact, actually, he has some videos with a character that he created that I thought was just absolutely insanely fun.
We watched that in bed one night, babe, and we were like, "This is so cool."
Yeah, we thought it was really cool. So, shout out to our guest, Centurion1307. How's it going, dude?
What is up, everybody? It is Friday night. What better place to be than to be here on the Xbox Ultimate Podcast with another shining positive member of the community right here. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to chill on Friday night, talk games, Gamescom, everything else. Sorry if you can hear the road outside. I'm like everybody else. I get to live near a busy street.
You're all good.
No, I really appreciate what you said about my character, by the way.
Yeah, his name is Fanboy. Is that right?
That's what he is. Yep, Fanboy. Yeah. He's just there to have fun with some of the very unusual zany things that we see people do in the name of trying to beat the drum for one brand or the other. I mean, it's like what better way of that's what started it, was when I saw the PlayStation Chain Gamer for IGN, that big old piece trying to talk about Xbox with a giant PlayStation necklace around him. So I was like, yes, let's just start doing that. I'm going to start talking about PlayStation with all my Xbox flair on and just see how that does for me.
It was sick.
Yeah, it was bad. It was creative. I love when I see creative, different things. You know what I mean? Not the same thing over and over again. And you definitely put some creative stuff out there. So I recommend
original.
Everybody that isn't checked out Centurion's channel puts a lot of work into it, right? And it shows. So definitely.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, to film Fanboy takes about an hour or two, and then it takes anywhere from 8 to 10 hours of editing.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. People don't realize how much work videos are sometimes. Even to do one of the standard videos where hey, I'm just gonna have a bunch of clips play and talk about games, right, or talk about a topic. those videos can even take 6-7 hours depending on how much work you put into
because you
them,
don't want to
right?
be sitting there talking about like Halo while Minecraft is on the screen. You almost want to try to like make what is on the screen relevant to what you're talking about.
That's one of the reasons I kind of do so much live stuff, is because I'm lazy. And it's just easier to just go live, and you know what I mean, and have fun doing that. But I'm working on a project right now too that is kind of in that creative fun zone, right? We'll see how it goes.
See, I wish I could do the live
things.
thing, but my house is so chaotic. I have cats that seem to think that they actually run the place, and their cat tower is right behind me. So I have to like put up curtains when I go live so people can't see, because I'm like pretty much in my living room.
Right on. Yeah, I hear you, man. But we also we do have some other awesome people here. We have 3 more of the 7. So as always, first in my heart. Hey, what's up, baby? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good, I think.
No one ever asks how you're doing.
Doing good. Yeah, doing good.
Good.
Just ready for a fun night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it.
I always look forward to Friday nights.
Me too.
The extraordinary AssassinLupa. What's up, Lupa? How's it going?
All good, thank you very much. It's Friday. It's Xbox Ultimate. Let's get it on.
That's my favorite part every week. Is Lupa's intro.
Yeah.
Gives me life.
Got to bring the fire, baby.
That's right.
She does bring that fire.
She does.
And the encyclopedia of gaming, dating back to the very first game ever created, the one and only Pong Soul. What's up, Pong? How you doing?
Friday night with Xbox Ultimate fam. It's good to see you. Lady, we miss you. 3-bit, we miss you. And of course, Psychonauts, we miss you. It doesn't feel the same, but we have my good friend Centurion from the Shop Podcast here with us as well. So that's good. But no, it's been a great week, man. Look, Mav, we've been talking about it for a long time, brother. Golden age of gaming. Man, Gamescom brought a ton of new stuff. Whether you liked the shows or whether you didn't, again, just like E3, if you deep dive some of those shows, there was some amazing stuff coming. Like we are truly lucky to be gamers right now. So it's a good time to talk games. No better place than right here. So let's get down to it.
Yeah, dude. And I know we have a little bit of different takes on the Xbox show, so that's going to be an interesting conversation. But I think
you're just wrong. You're just wrong.
Okay, well, it's okay. I could be wrong. And I think we have probably more in agreement on the opening night live show.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to get into some of that, and just want to thank everybody again in the chat for being here. And by the way, putting it out there, I think Lady and Phasma are both correct with their comments.
Oh my God. Can you not, please?
And shout out to KY Bob hitting us early with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. He says, hate to throw you off as far as topics go. If I do, I apologize. With Halo Infinite going from a mid-November-ish release to a December release, maybe co-op won't be so far off with more work in. For me personally, I think they already probably knew the December 8th around that timeline when they made that announcement of 3 months after launch. So I would, and they said that that's the goal, but they're not set in stone. So I'm gonna say that I would not anticipate it any earlier than the 3 months after launch. But I would say it's possible for insiders you may get a flight for the co-op campaign if they're actually worried about how it's going to work. They, with Master Chief Collection and all the flight testing they've done, they've implemented different things like that to test out with all the flight testing. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if the co-op campaign was part of the Season 2 flight test, I don't know exactly when they plan on dropping that. That being said, that's still a goal. It could even be later than that. It sucks. I don't know, but they didn't set it in stone yet. So I'm just crossing my fingers because I know there are a lot of people out there wanting that co-op. So, but we do have other stuff to talk about. So, and thanks again, Bob. We have Gamescom happened. Now, do y'all want to start with let's start with the Xbox show. Okay,
like let's do it.
We streamed both of these events live, so you can kind of see our initial reactions. Pong wasn't a part of those streams, so I haven't had a chance actually to talk about this stuff with him. I haven't had a chance to talk about it with Centurion. Lupa and Kate kind of already know how I feel about the Xbox show.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, that's right. You weren't there, but I think I talked to you about it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
So we'll start with our guest though, Centurion dude. So the first day Xbox's show, they had announced that it was going to be hosted by Paris Lily, and I keep forgetting her name. I apologize. And they kind of did a similar thing that they did after the E3 showcase, right? Where they did the sit down thing, kind of talk to devs and have kind of longer in-depth looks at certain games. We got to learn a lot about trebuchets and some other cool stuff. So, hey, Centurion, what was your thoughts on that showing from Xbox?
Well, let's touch on the trebuchets because this is where my ADD mind went from the minute they were doing that. Wasn't her voice one of the voices from Forza Horizon? I swear to God, when you close your eyes and you listen to her talk about a trebuchet, you're almost listening to, I think, one of like the voices from like Forza Horizon 3, like the main narrator for like the Horizon Festival. I swear to God,
are you talking about the one that like tells you where to go and stuff?
Yeah, I think she was one of those voices. I swear I've heard her voice before used in a game, and it wouldn't. I mean, Microsoft does stuff like that, so it wouldn't surprise me at all. But that's what I thought when I saw the trebuchet thing, which was really interesting for me. But back onto the Xbox show, how did I like it? Well, I'm a big fan of Paris. I do like his energy on stage. He's actually a very friendly individual. For me, I always wish I get a chance to kind of ever sit down and have a chat with him or an interview, something like that. Was it the world's greatest showing for Xbox? It wasn't a knockout like it was for E3, but also at the same time, I wasn't walking in with the same expectations I was with E3. For me, it was more because, for starters, not to be mean, but this conference came on at like 12:30, 11:30 in the afternoon for me. And I was well at work, so I had to go and watch it after I got off work. And so for me, I've just kind of always in my mind just never been totally hyped for events that I'm not able to entertain live. So maybe that was why I didn't have high expectations, but I do have listened to the chat. I know a lot of people really wanted Xbox to do another E3, but is it fair to expect them to come out swinging every time Xbox just can't do a show? Because even Xbox knew that this show was going to be done at a time when everybody couldn't tune in live. So did they really want to basically throw up this giant fireworks display for everybody to watch? I don't know. There's been really great game reveals. Some of the games like the Gunk, I know even I was a little shocked that there wasn't an actual date on the actual end of the trailer. That's something I picked up on right away. I did like, it was kind of, I chuckled at the Forza Horizon when they're like, oh, we're putting new vehicles in the Horizon series. And one of the first vehicles they talk about is the Ford Bronco from 2021, which hasn't been around in X amount of years. So we're actually playing on words, showing vehicles that are going into Forza because it's never existed before. Just stuff like that. For me, the show was what I expected it to be. I had a great time watching. Did anybody remember Stray Blade?
Which one was that?
That was the one where it had like some
games.
Creature. Yeah, it had like 505 games. It had some creature that would appear and disappear. It was like he was transported into their world, and this creature is somehow with him. almost reminded me of a more polished biomutant looking style creature. I mean, the minute I saw Strayblade, I went to their Twitter page right away, followed them. It's definitely a very interesting game I want to know more about. I'm trying to think of other games that kind of really knocked it out the park for me in that whole Xbox conference. I mean, it was, I don't want to drone on, but yeah, the conference was exactly, they showed us stuff, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah. Same. I wasn't expecting that much. I'll get into my thoughts on what I thought we got versus what I expected in a little bit, but I want to hear from Pong, who I know really liked the show. So let's go with what are your impressions, Pong?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so look, how I take each show is I take it in its own vacuum, right? So I don't compare it to other shows. I think it's unfair. I gave this one, if I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it like a 7.5, which I know for a lot of people, that's being really generous. I understand why people may not have liked this show, especially coming off of E3. That is a high that you just can't compete with, right? That is, you're going to be chasing that for a long time, no matter what you do. And so I totally get it. I understand why you have your feelings too, Mav. I think what my biggest thing is that they set it up appropriately. They told us exactly what the show is going to be, and it's exactly what we got. Now, first of all, Paris and Kate Yeager did an absolutely amazing job. I thought that every dev that they chose to interview brought energy and showed extreme passion for what they were doing. That Wasteland 3 guy, Dev, just an awesome dude. He reminded me of Teller, Penn and Teller, Penn Jillette. So a young version of that. But I just thought that every dev that they had on there just was awesome. And I thought they really advertised their games well. And I was really excited about that because you can get some really boring stuff. The Trebuchet stuff, yeah, I can understand why people didn't like it. I can understand why that kind of cut down on the whole pacing of the show. Personally, for kind of a history guy like myself, I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Again, between that and Flight Sim, talking about how they're trying to, take the planes in Flight Sim, go back through history and kind of really get so detailed that it becomes kind of a museum within Flight Sim and cataloging the history of airplanes. And then along with Age of Empires 4, going down to the details to learn how a trebuchet actually worked and how it would have functioned back then and bringing, that knowledge into the game. I think that stuff is so cool because that shows that these creators on certain types of games like that, simulator types of game or strategy games, really care about what they're putting in their games. So I was really, really impressed with what they came out with there. I will say that the show placement the night before maybe wasn't the correct placement. They might have been able to have this after the opening night live, right? And I think that might have put a better light on it. I understand why they did it, first of all, but I think that placement kind of got people riled up. People were kind of expecting the Halo release date to be announced that night on Xbox's own show, and so that kind of got people disappointed as well. But for me personally, what I saw updates, DLC, continuing progress on games that a lot of companies would have let go a long time ago, like Dying Light 2. Still getting updates, still getting new content. That kind of commitment to the community and to the games, you just don't find too many places. It's not a normal thing. Let's put it that way. Yes, there's lots of games that get updates, but Dying Light 2, there are so many companies that would let that die off a long time ago or just said, hey, we've done as much as we can.
I am
it's in the best
to play that game again now.
Right. Mav, you, me, and Psycho were playing it. I don't remember, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, right? And it's an awesome game now. But I just love to see these updates. Wasteland 3, In Exile is in the middle of making at least one new IP, possibly two new IPs, giant AAA kind of games. Here they are. They've got a fantastic game in Wasteland 3. It did wonderfully as far as a critical reception goes, and yet here they are still adding more DLC a year later at this point, and they're adding these big, they're not these little tiny little additions, they're big expansions. And like I said, the dev that came on to talk about his Wasteland 3 project, he was just so full of passion for that game and how much he actually loves it. So that kind of stuff, again, shows me that Xbox, having all of these devs underneath their umbrella, they're allowing these devs to do what they want to do, which is maybe at this point still adding on to their games. Did I say Dying Light 2, by the way? Anyways, State of Decay. State of Decay 2. Sorry, I got Dying Light 2 on my head as well because they started off the show that way. State of Decay 2 is the one I was talking about. They're in the middle of working on State of Decay 3, and they're still taking the time to go back to State of Decay 2. So again, that stuff just impresses me so much. And then we got some new stuff in there. The Humble Games package that they're putting into Game Pass. I think it's 8 total new games. One of them we already know about, Dodgeball. Absolutely impressed with that games that they showed in there. Signalless is one of the games that I have my eye on. All of them coming to Game Pass. That is absolutely huge. And then obviously Dying Light 2 starting off the show, again, showing a great partnership with Microsoft. Dying Light 2 is looking fantastic. Is it going to be buried because of Halo? Yeah, I'm sure they're not too happy about Halo coming out right on top of it. But at the same time, Dying Light 2 looks like it's got potential to be one of the big games going into, obviously December, but then going into 2022. A lot of people are going to be playing Dying Light 2. So absolutely love that as well. And then Crusader Kings 3 coming to Xbox. I know this is such a niche title when it comes to strategy, but really seeing a niche title, a strategy, a kingdom simulator coming to the console after having a great launch on the PC is music to my ears, because this is what I've been looking for, is RTSs, strategies type games, more and more showing up on console. So,
and is that why you love it? Love that night?
Yeah, I love all of it. I love all of it. So I think
rubbish.
it was. Well, that's fine, Lupa, and everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Well, if we all agreed, it would be a pretty piss poor podcast.
That is correct. So again, for me, the show was good. Again, I would not call it great. That's why I give it a 7.5. I don't
lower than that.
Of course you do. A lot of people did. I thought the pacing was good for what they were showing. No. I did not think it dragged.
And we repeat again, the games that we've already seen and played.
Which they said they were going to do.
Things in there that they went past the humble bag so quick, nobody even knew what the games were. Give them a chance. Let them shine.
I found them all out.
Yeah, you could find them all out afterwards, but actually during the show, you couldn't see. It went by so quick, you couldn't even tell what games was in there most of the time. It was just too quick. They should have focused on that a bit more and spread that out instead of crap talk and pissing around.
So let's get into your thoughts, Lupa. Like,
I was getting all hyped by Pong, and now I got Assassin bringing me back down.
That's what Lupa's good for. She's good for destroying hopes and dreams.
Expecting Pong to rip his microphone off and throw it on the floor.
There's some fucking good things come out of it.
I'm too used to her.
Dying Light 2, that was really good. The biggest takeaway I had was the cloud gaming from console. That was brilliant, saving storage space. And Stray Blade was pretty good. Other than that, we knew about the rest. The humble bag, it was just so quickly there and gone. And I think it should have been more focused on that. It was much like a inside Xbox. I think they missed out on what it could have been. It could have been so much better, and that's what's miserable about it.
Yeah,
it could have been so much bigger and better.
What did you didn't have a chance to watch any of this, did you, babe?
No.
I know you were busy when we were doing the live stream.
Yeah.
It's like I think a lot of people just it hits different with them, right? Like I respect that this Pong really enjoyed the things that were in the show, and Centurion was kind of like in the middle ground. It kind of seems like, you know what I mean. Lupa and I are kind of similar with this. Like for me, it's not that I'm like, okay, that was like, I'm not trying to be like hateful towards it or whatever. But if I'm to actually grade it as far as worth my time, it's for an hour and a half. I gave it a 3 out of 10.
No,
and
you didn't.
Here's the thing.
You gave it like a 3.26 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it
like
a
that.
3.26.
And I gave it pretty much a 4. So I just
wanted
think
to give it a 4. I just couldn't.
I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying it could be done better. They had a prime opportunity, and then Only Night Live comes out and whips their ass, and that's maddening. Like,
see, my
why?
problem for me in my professional life, I'm expected to bring new products into the showroom and predict those product successes and actually get the consumers to want to buy them. And the big problem is, because of that side of me, by watching the show, I will sit there and be like, oh man, the community isn't going to like that one. For me, it doesn't bother me, but you're just thinking like, because I see the consumer base a lot more actively than any, like if you go on social media, you'll get a definitely good temperature for the room real quick. And that's where you can sometimes be like, oh, there's going to be some people who are going to have issues with that one.
Yeah. So shout out to KY Bob again with the $5 super chat. He says, I did not see the supernatural angle with Crossfire coming. Totally hit me by surprise. Okay, so for the Xbox show, for me, like Lupa said, I gave it a 3.26. I did that kind of jokingly, but like I was like, it's not a 4, but it's not a 3, and I just kind of picked a random number in between, right? So
wouldn't that be like 3.5 then?
No, because it wasn't a 3.5 either. So
you just wanted to like be
bad. I felt bad giving it only a 3.25 stars, so I was like, a 3.26 is at least above that. Like I don't know. I was just being stupid, but
yeah, for sure.
Okay,
and like Brother Mike says, still no announcement from Compulsion. He's really stressed about that, by the way.
Yeah. They're spacing them out, Brother Mike. They got so much coming that they're spacing out, which is good.
So for the Xbox showing, like I only really expected like a 5 out of 10. Right? I didn't go in like I would say if you're going for like, okay, biggest wow factor, that's something like at E3 or something, you know, that's like a 10 out of 10 for me. It's like, so this isn't really in the same ballpark, but like I was expecting like a mediocre type show that but because they were, like Pong said, because they were going first, I expected them to have a couple of bigger things in there, and they didn't put any of that in there. They saved it. Now, they probably did that because this was pre-recorded, and some of their bigger announcements they wanted to save when they actually had for the live show, because they had just recently discovered what date Halo was going to be released on after the Call of Duty date was announced. So that made sense. Everybody was predicting this. We're going to get the date at Gamescom. But then when the Xbox show is first, you're like, okay, we're going to get something Halo there. We're going to get this there. You know, so you're kind of thinking, all right, the Xbox show is going to be worth watching. But for me, the biggest disappointment was that two things. There was a lot of DLC stuff, right? There's a lot of DLC and add-ons and expansions and updates on existing current games where you can do that in something like an Inside Xbox, or even within the game, or you can announce like a trailer that gets spread around or something. You don't necessarily have to like fill up a hour-and-a-half show with that kind of stuff. For example, like the Borderlands Sea of Thieves ship. I felt like the Trebuchet thing with Age of Empires 4 was a little bit of filler, right? Like, hey, this is this cool feature, which I do think it's a cool feature, but we didn't need to see a whole segment on that, like a whole video. Like, I thought it was cool that it's going to be in the game, but it seemed like a way to stretch out the time a little bit.
What are you talking about? What do you think we're using for at my work now? We're actually building the Trebuchet. I mean, dude, we're able to like freeze the frames, you know, cat it out. We're definitely getting this going where I work.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I should know all about the treasure bazaar. Yeah, that thing. Because I live in England, down we've used them for millions of years. So it got a bit like, we don't need a history lesson on this.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome, Psycho, to the show.
But
I didn't see you sitting down there, dude. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, Sykes.
Yeah, I mean, Lupa was the first one to, you know, get the blueprints for that thing. So, you know, it's just...
I'm ahead. I'm going to build
all
one and come
about
and throw it at Pong's house.
But for real though, like my number one like disappointment for the show, why it didn't reach that like 5, was the gunk. And that's because I feel like it was like a huge missed opportunity. Like we knew that this game was going to be at Gamescom. They had been kind of promoting it a little bit, right? Hey, this is going to be the update. It's supposed to be coming out this year, and it's an exclusive game on the Xbox platform. And all we got for that, which it's a game that a lot of people are actually excited about, all we got for that was like this little small trailer that just kind of ended. And there was like no release date, nothing. And then we didn't even find out it's coming out in December till after, with the Xbox Wire post, right? So it was like they had a chance to push this game as another Xbox exclusive coming this year, right? At Gamescom, when it was at the show, but they just for some reason chose just to have this like 1 minute little trailer that doesn't really show anything new than what we've already known about the game. So that was the most odd thing for me, was the gunk at Gamescom. It doesn't mean I'm not excited about the game now. It was just like, it seemed like the show was just kind of like put together, like with, hey, let's figure out some stuff to put in this and we'll fill it up for 90 minutes, as opposed to having a reason to have the show. Right? That's my biggest takeaway. And they saved the cool stuff for the next day, which we're going to get into that for a minute, because this show alone does not equal to Xbox's presence at Gamescom as a whole. This is just their first showing there. Overall, I think it's a different thing when you look at everything after everything happened. And I think Pong was right. The timing, having this first, doesn't make sense. The like E3, they had this same style of show directly after, and it made a lot more sense, because then you're like, okay, we got the cool stuff. Now we're here to like kind of see some other things, right? The air racing, by the way, it looks freaking awesome in Flight Sim. And I am excited about the other games that Pong was talking about as well. It just didn't really showcase anything well enough for me. Psycho, you were there with us hanging out.
Yes, sir.
The day one, we're breaking it down in sections. And by the way, welcome, dude. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Cool.
I
just want to know, like, what we're doing is breaking down individually, right? So the first day with the Xbox showcase.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, the Xbox showcase, it wasn't phenomenal. Like, it definitely felt like it would have been like an after show. That's what it totally felt like after what we got from actual game Jeff Keighley's Gamescom event. So it just felt off for some reason. And it was all right. I gave it a 6, just because of the flight sim racers and just a couple other news. Having gunk there, we should have definitely got a lot more than that 30-45 second trailer that we got, and without a release date. And then it's coming out this fall, so it's just like we're getting news like after the fact. It was just off. It wasn't the best showing from Microsoft at all. Didn't feel like it was coming off of the E3 event, and we what we got there, and we're like, all right, cool. What are we going to get at the show? We're thinking we're going to get so much, and we really didn't. And we got it. What we wanted, we actually got from Jeff Keighley's show. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was wondering if they held stuff back because they're doing an XO towards the end of the year, maybe.
It could very well be that's why they didn't show everything that they wanted to show. Plus, they still got their 20th anniversary event. So when that's coming out, it's like. Like to know when the new flight test comes out. Is it coming out this fall? It's going to be coming out at the end of September, October. I mean, because it's like a month or so right behind the actual launch of Halo. So,
yeah, I feel this is like mixed opinions on it, right?
yeah,
I feel like Pong probably had the right expectations because he was more informed on what they said is going to be in the show. So
I didn't have big expectations. I just expected it to be paced better and to have, to show the things that we were interested in. I mean, for the gunk to be leaked the date but not actually be in the show, that was weird. No Scorn, that's meant to be coming out this year. It's really weird how it played out. I mean, not many people gamer-wise wanted to know how a trebuchet worked.
No, and and if they definitely came out and was like and told us this is we're going to show a lot more tomorrow night, it just kind of gave us a heads up in the very beginning. This is what we're going to expect. It wouldn't have been like maybe of a letdown of what we got, because we were kind of expecting a little bit more than what we had actually. So
there's a game I expected to see there. I was completely shocked wasn't there.
Which one?
Atomic Heart. That's actually in their neck of the woods. I mean, that's pretty much the game is. I'm getting a feeling the game actually is going to be spoken in Russian and it's going to be subtitled in English. It might be dubbed, but I don't know. But that's in their neck of the woods over there. And we got this like real poppy, catchy, almost hilarious trailer for Xbox's E3, letting everybody know that the game is coming to Game Pass. And that's pretty much been silence ever since. I thought there'd be a little bit more about the game at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Definitely missed opportunity by a lot of stuff I mean, we still haven't seen anything about Exomecha that's supposed to come out this year. I mean,
no, it's been delayed 2022.
Did it get delayed?
Yeah, okay. That was delayed like a month and a half ago, or E3. Right after the E3, I think they announced it. So
did they? All right.
I think better for that game probably.
Yeah, I just think that the stuff that they left out shows that they're going to have at least one more show. You got the VGAs, but I think they've got one more show to showcase the stuff later this year, the smaller stuff later this year. Like we know everything about Forza 5 basically at this point. We're going to obviously have a big blowout on Halo at some point, whether it's on the anniversary or whatever the case. They're probably going to do a whole just Halo show by itself. But I think we've got one more show for the smaller, the indie titles, the Gunk, Scorn, Atomic Heart, as Centurion just brought up, Tunic, if it's still going to show up this year, Crossfire X, if that's still coming out this year. I think we're still going to have one more show where they go a little in depth on those games. I think they've just got look how many indie games we just had drop. I mean, it's crazy. And I think we're just going to have one more show before the end of the year that highlights those. I think that's what that means.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely Perfect Dark as well. I mean, that game, like, I think it's towards the end of polishing right now.
And wow, Psycho, you are courageous. You are courageous.
We'll see. We'll see. A lot of things showed, well, to me, like signs, like with the artist leaving, going to wherever.
There's been some of that. I agree with you, but I don't know, man. Because of the way the calendar looks for next year. If we see it at the VGAs at the end of the year, I think you might be right. But man, that calendar next year is already full. Yeah, that calendar is. I don't know if they need it. I think they might give it an extra, time to polish and bring it out. Maybe spring of 2023. But you are courageous for saying that. I hope you're right because I'd love to see it. So
yeah.
Well, real quick, if you really want to think about it, if I can, technically the original Lord of the Rings trilogy was filmed in 3 months with everybody living together in New Zealand. So they filmed everything, but it took them years to take 3 months of footage and break it down into a couple of hours that we basically get to enjoy. So, I mean, like, just because the artist isn't there, there is potential that the artist has basically done with their job, but there could still be a very long road ahead.
So
it could be.
After Gamescom was for Xbox, the Xbox show was over. We got some things that night, right? They were hinting, right? They're using influencers on Twitter and stuff, including Keeley was hinting towards Tim Dog. If you're familiar with Tim Dog in the Xbox community, like, hey, are you ready? You know, and they're sort of like, okay, well, all is not lost with Xbox at Gamescom. And hey, real quick though, hey, did I read that super chat from KY Bob?
Yeah, you did.
One?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. About Crossfire. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I just want to make sure I don't want to forget anything. Okay. So we got this thing. Like, are you ready? Are you ready? And you know, I was thinking, okay, what are we gonna get? Like, there's something big. There's something cool coming. So all is not lost. And then the next day, we had Gamescom with Keeley, which that's one of the better like actual Gamescom events I've seen, because usually Gamescom doesn't have a lot of new game announcements, doesn't have a lot of new things. It's mainly like updates on existing things and stuff like this. But we got some cool game announcements. We got lots of different things for just lots of different types of gamers in that show. And we also got some cool stuff for Xbox as well, where they announced a Halo Elite controller, and also what a lot of people have been speculating about, a Halo 20th anniversary Xbox Series X special edition. And they announced both of those things. The pre-orders already went live and they were gone like that. So guys, we'll start with Centurion. Like day 2, the opening night live, Xbox is showing for that. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that we know is going to be on Xbox at that show, including the hardware that they announced.
I was very unprepared for that Halo console. I really wish I was better prepared. I wish I could have snapped one up, but right now I guess I'm just gonna play on my plain Jane Series X. If by some chance I'm gonna do anything, I'll just put a sticker on it, but I'll just it's a really, really awesome looking console. Really enjoy the look of the controller. The Elite 2 controller for the Master Chief Edition Elite 2 controller. That thing's pretty gorgeous. I mean, that green on that thing. I hope the green on that controller is just as vibrant as it is on television as it is in person. But the games that were showing, I mean, man, I almost wish I could have tuned into this event live when everybody was hyping everything. I mean, some of the other games that were shown were like the Marvel game. I really want to know more on that. I wish I didn't have to just look at some of these as trailers. I wish I was able to just kind of sit and watch the event with everybody when they, I really wasn't able to get too much outside of reading the articles. I mean, I saw the hype for everybody for all the games that are coming out. And I'm excited for everything that Xbox has lined up. I mean, somebody earlier said the golden age of gaming. I mean, there is way more content than we can all probably have time to play if we be realistic about it. There's going to be something for everybody everywhere. I'm really excited. I mean, what more could we want? There's more inclusivity on gaming more than ever. They're making it easier for people to enter these ecosystems without having to fork out a lot of money. So I'm totally excited.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people got excited after that show, realizing, oh my gosh, there's so much more. And especially for like Pong was saying, 2022 is stacked. Some of these things that were announced for this show was 2022 as well, which we already knew was stacked. So it's like, oh my gosh, you know, like what else is all out there? So in the chat, let me know what you think about opening night live as well, from Jeff Keighley. And I know there's mixed feelings on him from an Xbox fan base, but I thought this was a good show that kind of represented most gamers, as well as PlayStation, Xbox, PC. There was stuff for everybody. There wasn't a lot. Was there a lot of Nintendo content? There was with the TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Small amount.
Jumanji game, right?
But isn't that TMNT for all consoles or no?
It is. It is, but I think like it was first when they first revealed it. It was announced with like marketing, like on the Switch, added it like Nintendo
Yeah.
Indie or
I'm
something.
just glad the Skywalker saga is finally back in the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. No online though, as of right now.
Online.
No online
That's
co-op.
really weird.
For the penultimate like Skywalker saga of Lego games, to not have the online component, and this one, I understand you don't necessarily like they don't put it in some of them, but like this is like if you're gonna do it, this is the one, right? To do it with. So that was kind of weird to me, but besides that, like overall, there's just so much in this show. Let me know in the comments or in the chat what you guys thought about this show. If you're watching after the fact, appreciate everybody here again. Hey, Pong. What
Yes,
I know, okay, we got your thoughts on the first one. What's day 2 like? What's opening that live like for you?
Well, I can make the noise of my chair scooting forward right now.
No,
you're all good.
Well, I mean, again, since I take everything in a vacuum, this show was amazing because I'm looking at the content here, guys. I'm looking at what is coming out, and this is some crazy stuff. Let's start with the pre-show, Mav, and your boy Kyle Bozeman. He did a fantastic job on the pre-show.
I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean, even the pre-show was dropping world premieres. You had Dolmen, that new sci-fi horror RPG. Like, I'm all about that. Like, they're gonna redo Dead Space, and now we get a new RPG style sci-fi horror. Okay, cool. We know that's going to be around. It's supposed to be multi-plat. Nobody Saves the World. We got another look at that from Drinkbox. That looks absolutely incredible. We already know that's coming for sure this year. Looking just ridiculous. The more they show that game, the more I love it. And they talked about how you can combine the abilities now, and they showed some of that off. I absolutely love that. King of the Fighters 15 for all your fighting fans out there, coming to Xbox as well. We've missed out on some fighters in the past, but King of the Fighters 15, the new one, is going to be on Xbox. That was looking really good. We got Dream Cycle. If you guys haven't checked out Dream Cycle, go check out the videos on Dream Cycle right now. If you missed the video, if you missed the trailer, the short one that they had on the pre-show, go check it out. It's from the creator, one of the creators of Tomb Raider. Okay, this guy knows what he's doing, and this game looks unique, and it looks fun as hell. I can't wait to see more on that one. So that was just a pre-show, and again, Kyle did a great job. I thought it was really well paced. He had his dry humor, and it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. His cat even showed up for part of it. It was funny as hell. But yeah, that was awesome. But as far as the opening night live goes, incredible. Again, you can have your opinion of Keeley. I've got my own personal opinions of Keeley, but what he does for this industry is indisputable. What he has done, just from a standpoint of bringing the spotlight onto games and onto this community and onto the entire market, not too many people can claim to do what he does. I think the early metrics were he had over 1 million concurrent viewers on Twitch alone watching opening night live. That's why Xbox held off on their big announcements. That's exactly why they did. I absolutely love the fact that he nailed it. I thought he did very well with the pacing. Sometimes I don't agree with his pacing. Sometimes it gets a little long, but the mixture of people on stage and on TV, over the air interviews worked really well. I thought he spread it out. The amount of games that were shown, out of this world. Absolutely phenomenal, from all over the place, right? All different types of games. But of course, the spotlight was on Halo. Everybody kind of knew that was coming by that point. And I thought they did a good job. I know some people had some issues. People were hoping for single player gameplay. We didn't get that. It makes sense. Joseph Staten himself said we were going to see some closer to launch. It's still disappointing for some people because everybody wants to see it at this point. But having the launch date put out there on that stage was perfect. Settling that issue, there is going to be no more delays, and then going ahead and backing it up with obviously a lot, or I should say, with something that a lot of people were hoping for, which was a limited edition console and a limited edition brand new Elite 2 controller, which obviously again sold out So there you go. There's the hype. I know Scalper's got a lot of them, but there's a lot of regular people who got them. We know a lot of people in this community who picked up both. So that was awesome. And then, like I said, the rest of the show, just the diverse collection of games that they put out there. Again, there is so much coming out. It's not even funny anymore. 2022, even if there is delays, is going to be one of the best years in the history of gaming right now as it lines up on paper. So, and they just added to that. I mean, again, just go down the list of games, showing off Far Cry 6 again, right? Everybody's excited for that. Me, it's whatever. I'll wait until it's sale, but I know a ton of people like you, Mav, are just hyped for this game. Lupa, I think you are as well. So I think that was awesome to see some more of that. Doki V coming out of nowhere. All of us stole the show. That game has no right looking that good. The graphics are off the chart. If you don't believe me as somebody who does not have a developer's eye, go listen to 3-Bit talk about it. 3-Bit even said, what is this game doing looking next gen? And it's true.
It was like GTA 5 or GTA for kids.
Right, exactly. But it looks amazing. It's a Pokemon style game. Yeah. And everybody's out there. If you go look at social media, yeah, there's some people poo-pooing it because it's a kiddie style game. But there's other people out there going, this is what Pokemon would be if Nintendo had the guts to go ahead and bring Pokemon forward. It should look like this. That's from Pearl Abyss. Again, another great developer, Korean developer, one of those Eastern style developers we talk about. This talent pool in the world right now for making games is just knocking it out of the park and just growing day by day as we see this stuff. So I thought all of it was great. Obviously, the Horizon Forbidden West getting a delay on that stage was a little strange, but made sense that they had to do it that way. But we even got to see Crossfire X, some of the multiplayer, and even though none of us were impressed with the multiplayer beta that we played, they're showing it, which means that we assume that if they're showing it and saying that that's close, then we hope the single player is close too. We hope that they're going to release them as a package. So that gives us hope that Crossfire X still is on for this year. Little games, Midnight Fight Express, single developer. That's that fighting style game. I don't know if you guys remember that one. Kind of looked like almost like a Jackie Chan movie. A little bit less graphics, but the style was out of this world. Absolutely love seeing that there. Cult of the Lamb, brand new game from Devolver. Love Devolver. Cult of the Lamb looked crazy. Cartoonish cult style action game. I'm all about it. So yeah, I loved opening night live. I definitely, in a vacuum, I give it a 9 for what it did. I thought the pacing was great. And I'm just so excited for all this shit coming out. It's crazy.
Heck yeah, dude. Great breakdown, Pong. Hey, babe, you got to watch this one with us on.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I could join you for that one.
You didn't get bored during it? It didn't seem like really.
Well, the second half kind of lost a little bit of steam for me.
Yeah,
it did. Mm-hmm.
But like the Saints Row was like, I did not think that was Saints Row when it started. Then Psycho's like, I think this is Saints Row. And we were all like, no.
Right.
Yeah, that looked, I can't wait for that. The Doki looks like GTA for kids.
Yeah.
But I don't mean that in a bad way either. I mean it in a good way. Like, I'm definitely excited for it. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think there was so much stuff. Like they did a good job. Like it was kind of like pacing wise, it had more in common with the Xbox show at E3, where they just kept hitting us with one thing after another.
Well, like Pong said, they started showing premieres like before the show even started, and I was like, wait, did the show start?
Yeah, we weren't really even paying because we were hanging out during that, and while we had Kyle Bossman up on the screen, and there was like world premieres happening. I'm like, there's world premieres actually happening with this right now. I saw King of Fighters even like at that. Like, I was like, okay, there's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing now. This is stuff that would usually be saved for the show. Even I would argue that the pre-show of Opening Night Live had cooler stuff than the Xbox show.
Also, they announced Splitgate, the new Season 0.
Mm-hmm.
We tried that out. Wasn't there like 2 new maps? I think.
There was a couple, maybe three.
A couple,
two or
maybe three.
Yeah, not sure.
I love that game. I think it's super fun. And then they also announced that the Riders Republic demo was available to download now, and I've played that a few times, and I think it's so fun. I cannot wait for that to come out.
Yeah,
you're really into that. I couldn't play it.
You didn't try again. You need to try again.
I'm gonna try again tonight.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be super into that game when it comes out.
Yeah. We were able to play 6 players at least once it comes out, not during.
Yeah, once it comes out.
Once it comes out. We found out real quick there was only 2 players because me, Kaitlin, and
Jasper were trying to play, but
this was a good pacing. Like Pong pretty much summed it all up perfectly, and the pacing was good. It wasn't like too slow. It wasn't a lot of talking. It was pretty good, and I like this time around. Jeff Keighley gave enough love for all the game announcements. He wasn't just one-sided. Even though there wasn't a total PlayStation presence at the show, it was more. It was just like it was a little bit heavily on Xbox, but it was. What we saw was great, and it just felt like, a great show. He presented it well. We were hoping for one more announcement at the end there, but we got the Death Stranding. But other than that, it was cool what we saw, and just hope that there was just a little bit more. But other than that, I mean, it was good. He definitely Jeff Keighley definitely showed it was that he was neutral throughout the whole show, which was nice. So we enjoyed it, and definitely that. Like
I said, it lost a little bit of steam towards the end, but it was still really enjoyable.
Yeah, I do agree with Kaitlin. The first half was really cool. The second half definitely lost the pacing. And ending with Death Stranding, I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not even really familiar with that, but I feel like I've seen it too much.
That was on the last game show that he did last year.
It's the bromance. He's got to have his bro on there.
If it had like that one more game announcement that we were kind of hoping for at the end, like, oh yeah, there's one more thing. I think even though it's slowed off, it would have been it would have perked everyone back up, and it would just been a total from start to finish, just
banger.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't just say that.
we're getting some requests in the chat. And
one sec, I want to say something that I forgot to mention. Lupa, what was that one game? I can't remember it.
Can't you? I swear it ended on some guy with a backpack on driving a car. I don't know.
No. You know that one. It's that fun game.
You're gonna get me, Kaitlin.
No. I mean the one that comes out like October 5th or something.
Oh, October 7th, Far Cry 6.
No.
Was
it like to do with frogs or something?
Oh, Monkey Ball.
Oh, Monkey Ball. Oh yeah, Monkey Ball. I'm really looking forward to Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania.
Me
October
too.
5th. I mean, that is on my anniversary as well, actually. But no, that is an awesome game. It's an old school game, and it is real fun. And now they've got multiplayer in it as well. It's going to be even better.
I think we're going to have fun with that one.
We're getting
some requests in the chat, and I got to see if this is possible. Maybe if we get a couple more likes, we can convince Psycho to do this. Have you been keeping up with the chat, Psychonauts, in the last minutes?
No, I haven't. Let's see.
Well, do you remember how at times randomly we're hanging out in the party chat, and occasionally you'll just start singing Aquarius, So that people are wanting that to happen. Maybe we can convince them to do that. I'm not sure.
Is that just a song from 40-year-old version?
Likes.
No,
it was
an
actual Psycho.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a song from Hair from back in the day. It was a song. It was pretty much from I think the late 60s.
How does it go again?
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love steer the stars. This is dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. 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 All right.
Yeah,
Thank
hey,
you.
that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Thank you, Psychonauts.
Oh, so
Round of
clever.
applause, everybody.
Yay.
1970 Psycho. 1970.
Yeah.
That's
All
when
right.
it, that's
I'm
when it was
mentally
done.
throwing flowers at you right now.
And guys, you are free to clip that and get it everywhere on the
Yep.
internet. And I would definitely suggest.
We recommend doing that.
We
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah,
Yeah, we recommend.
It's a big recommendation.
It's recommended everywhere. Recommended. You have
Yeah.
some fans in the chat already.
Thank you.
There may be more music videos coming from this channel shortly as well. So just a little.
Keep tuned, everybody.
Yeah, just a little thing.
Psycho about to have as many groupies as 3-bit.
Right?
Are we about to?
I won't get as many panties as 3-bit, but you know, that's fine. They won't.
I have to say, Midnight Sun did look awesome.
Yeah, you went for it, Psycho. You did great.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
He's
That
a
was
Midnight
ballsy
Suns.
guy.
They could have at Gamescom.
Thank you,
could have
baby.
only shown Marvel Midnight Suns trailer. I would have been happy.
Yeah,
that could have been
Midnight Sun did
the
look
only thing.
awesome.
That game was like, hey, okay, it's like I thought of it. You know what I mean? It's like okay, like somebody make this game. You know, somebody make this game, and they made that game. It's like absolutely awesome to me that this is a creation, that we get a Marvel XCOM style game. But not only that, when they showed the art style and the graphics, and like when they talked about it, like Pong told me about this interview on IGN that they did where they talked about the game and everything. I'm like, okay, now, hey, here we go. You know, this is like actually happening. This like dream game for me. So we got to learn a little bit more. Pong and I were hoping that there's a co-op mode, you know, stuff like that. So that's like that's in the top 3 games probably for 2022, right? Anticipated for me now at this point, along with Starfield, which, by the way, holy shit, guys, I forgot about this.
Starfield.
Did y'all see the updates from Starfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
Did you have a chance to see those, Centurion? They released like 3 videos with basically like moving artwork of some of the locations in the game, and they gave a description on what they're about and the lore behind them, and the art style. Like it just looks. I'm like over the moon excited for Starfield now because they nailed that.
I will be absolutely truthful. You are showing me this right now. I'm a little bit of a fraud in the bushes on this one.
Yeah, it kind of
nothing changes.
It just like came like under the radar. Like they're like, hey, let's drop it real quick. And I was like, I saw it. I was like, some of the pictures. I was like, okay, I'm gonna post it to the Xbox Ultimate DMs. I was like, yo, are we getting some more Starfield stuff? I mean, that's coming out next year, so it's very interesting that we got some.
Well,
stuff.
I know what I'm doing after the show.
Yeah, it's very short. The trickle begins, however. So that's what that's where we're going to be at this point up until next year when it starts the flood of information. But right now we're going to start getting this trickle. Bethesda loves to do this stuff. They did it with Skyrim. I remember back in the Skyrim days, even though the internet wasn't big, we still got a trickle of information. Magazines were coming out with articles here and there, talking about some new information they got on it. So absolutely cannot wait for this. They showed off Neon, which is it's a location on some random water world that they built to become a fishery, and then they found out the fish have drugs in their system, or they have a type of blood which people can use as a drug. Psycho is already reserving his flight, but you can. It's not a psychotic. What do I want to say? It's like a psychedelic drug, and so then they found out that they can sell this drug for more than they could the fish. So they turned it into basically a party town. And so that is Neon. And then they have the New Atlantis location, which is the hub for supposedly, some people are guessing right now it's going to be kind of like the Empire version. And New Atlantis is where everybody comes together. It sounds like there are going to be many, many different types of races. People believe that there's probably going to be intelligent alien races included in this, which a lot of people were debating whether or not we would actually meet aliens or if this was before we meet them or whatever the case may be. And then they also have a Kaylee, which is kind of like the resistance base is what they think it is, or the resistance city, the people that are fighting against the law and order of the universe. So really interesting. Short segments. They're only about like 50 seconds each, but gives you a good artwork and a look at what the style they're going for. And if this is any indication, this is just 3 locations. We are in for a treat, like Mav said. Over the moon, hyped about what we're going to be seeing from Starfield.
If I can add on to that, now not seeing these trailers just by going off of what Pong is describing, is why I wish I had more time to tune into shows just to get much more hype. So when you're describing Atlantis, it's kind of funny. You're actually giving the actual description for Atlantis that Plato described back in the day about it being a central empire that basically represented different races all around. And they were just very technologically advanced because they pretty much brought everybody into the fold with them.
Yep. You know, God Howard and his team have a big plan for this. They've been planning for 25 years. So obviously we're going to be seeing so much of that fall in line with what you just said, Centurion, where things just make sense and they have some kind of real world basis as well. Because I think he is going for that type of real world versus just straight sci-fi, stuff, but he wants it to keep it grounded in reality as well as far as technology goes and the possibilities out there of what could be out there. I think he's really going for that. So I think that's awesome, dude. Good information.
Well, that's for me. I just really like to see how we can see a developer take inspiration from something as simple as the concept of Atlantis. If you ever really read about what it truly was, and to just be like, hey, we should integrate this into a game. And probably, it really shows how gaming is in a way another form of art, and it can almost expose people to things they knew nothing about, and the fact that this actually has real world connections.
Right. Exactly. Cool shit. Can't wait.
I have to address something in the chat.
What I do
is I've realized that there are people that do not understand what some of our emojis mean. So
it's quite like
we can't go into.
This is mayo. A jar of for lady. This is Pong. Obviously,
Pong made that face on Fun Pop.
Yeah,
when he was playing a video game fighting a boss, and he held it for about 5 minutes straight, and so we blew it up.
That might be a slight exaggeration.
This is baby 3-bit.
that's baby bit.
And this is Mavster. This is Fun Pop.
Fun Pop.
This is Sniffing.
Sniffing. That was a thing.
That was a thing. This is Marvel. Only it's not. It's like a lion.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's called Marvel, but
I wish we would
this
get
is Cardi, the
back.
singer woman.
We need a petition.
And this is Halo.
Petition from
what is there not to know?
Let's bring SpongeBob back, everybody.
No.
1 for yes,
Nope.
2 for no.
No,
but I'm a low life on
guys.
We'll
get the channel banned. Back. By the way, so I have been known and called out a few times by Pong when I'm streaming that he realizes I forget that I'm streaming and I just get caught staring at the camera eating animal crackers.
Yeah.
Or cheese balls
thing.
or whatever else you got.
Yeah. Whatever snack is under the desk.
Wait a minute. You just don't do it. You actually stare into the camera and do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He's like,
because I'm watching.
Taken away to another land.
I'm on the PC doing something, and my camera's right here, like by my monitor. So I'm just looking at like this, and I'll reenact it for you. So I'm just playing games, and then I'm doing something. I forget about the camera and the stream, and I'm just sitting here.
He's just talking.
See, that's my whole big fear about going live, because I'll be up front. I got ADHD and the weirdest stuff happens around me, and I just get worried about what I am going to do on camera because I spaz out and I forget the camera's on.
Yeah, I have ADHD too, brother. So,
There it is. There it is. The look.
Oh man, people don't know.
I'm in heaven. Look. I don't know why you'd be in heaven with them bloody dry old things.
Hey
so
man, animal crackers are nostalgic.
They're so horrible.
There's a reason why they're called animal crackers.
Yeah, but he eats the ones without icing. They're not iced.
Good old days when those things came in a cheap cardboard box with string.
No, they're still
those
cheap
are the
cardboard.
Byrnes ones. The Byrnes ones are actually good. The ones that Mab eats are total shit.
Oh my God.
They are the cardboard Centurion. The ones he eats are actually cardboard.
They're probably like one molecule away from actually being cardboard. But
aisle at local Costco, the lights flickering. Yeah, they're down there.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta dust them off because nobody's bought them in a long time.
I've actually had this for like 3 months now, I think. When did I get this 150th anniversary one?
You've cut down.
It just sits here next to me. I have cut down. The last one I went through pretty quick. So
yeah.
All right. So moving on. Anybody else want to speak on the other show, that we got opening night live? I think everybody's had a chance to, right?
Pretty much. I think Centurion.
Yeah.
I gave it a B+ at the time because I think the second half dropped off. There were a few good games in there that I like the look of. Obviously, Saints Row was a big one. Midnight Sun was a good looking one. Cult of the Lamb I'm really looking forward to. But what nobody's mentioned is some more play from Sifu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sifu, yes.
Yeah. So Sifu's looking cool. February 22nd, 2022, it's coming out, and I know Indie Gamer is hyped for that.
Yeah.
Is that a PlayStation exclusive and PlayStation and PC? I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've got. You know what, Mav? I got to call fraud on myself because you know how much I hate battle royales, right? I'm not a battle royale.
You're not the only one.
Me too. Battle royales. But I will tell you this, that Blood Hunt game needs to come to consoles. I don't know why they're keeping it PC only, but that Blood Hunt
that's
game,
on PC only?
Yes, that's PC only right now. Yes,
what
they have not. Yes.
Well,
correct.
it's probably the console version's not ready.
Well, they have not confirmed it. They have said that there's no plans for it at the time, but down the road they could do it. That needs to come because out of all the battle royales I've seen, and again, part of it has to do with it being vampires. I absolutely love vampires. That game looks incredible, and I would love nothing more than check that game out. The powers and how they use them. I think while you were doing the show, Mav, I tweeted at you saying that, or I was in the chat saying that it looks like it plays like Shadowrun, the first-person shooter version.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of with the powers. It looks so good, dude.
I can't wait to try it out. Maybe I'll try and take up PC gaming, for that more.
Yeah.
I only kind of relegate myself to RTS and stuff like that, CRPGs. But maybe it'll be worth
just to try it out.
Yeah. Is it free to play or is it pay?
And I don't know. They're putting it into preview though. So it's been in alpha for a while, and they're finally putting it into preview. So they've got some. Maybe you should try to get a code or something.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard for any like battle royale style game that's based on that style to succeed now without free to play, especially when it's only limited to one platform, because you're limiting the install base to like such a small size that it really needs to take off. And a lot of PC gamers that are playing those type of games are used to playing Apex or Warzone or Fortnite, and they're not used to paying like, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks, whatever it costs to buy a game. And that's going to kind of limit the size of that a little bit. So we'll see what model they pick up with. I'm not saying there's only one right answer, but you know, for numbers wise on an actual multiplayer game, sometimes it can make a big difference. And that's one of the reasons Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going free to play, because you're guaranteeing a larger install base, and that can grow over time with supported content.
Exactly.
So that's the one thing too. Like when you like Aliens Fireteam Elite, right?
Yep.
Amazing game, just came out. Great. We're having a lot of fun. It has a few bugs here and there, but we don't really know what the future is, right? Because it was released as like a $40 package. This is what you get, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But I would love to know, hey, what's the future of this franchise and this game going to be?
They have announced three DLCs are going to come.
Yes. Is it within they announced like a time span, like a year?
This year, supposedly. So we'll see.
Is it like campaigns, like 4-section?
They have not specified. They've specified additional content. They did not specify what that's going to include, other than that there is going to be some more just cosmetic stuff. But everybody's assuming they're going to add a couple of levels at least. So if not,
I can ask, I tuned into your guys' stream the other night. What is this game about? I mean, it has me intrigued, but like, you know, every game based off of every great movie franchise hasn't really translated very well most of the time. I know there's that title everybody always wants to point out, but I know most of the time it doesn't translate well. I'm just curious, is there any campaign to this, or is this just really three people standing in a room just surviving waves?
No, there's a campaign. It's a light campaign. It's a light story. I'm not going to tell you that it's in depth, but this is probably, I think we've all agreed, one of the best one of the games to best capture the feeling of Aliens overall, like period, point blank, from sounds to the actual music to the settings to the point of how the aliens are basically nonstop. You are in panic mode all the time. The other night, me, 3-Bit, and Mav ran out of ammo, just like in the movie. We were running out of ammo. I was using my pistol, just like the movie, until we could get to the next ammo crate. So it's just it's up to 3-player multiplayer, 3-person shooter is what it is, co-op. And there is a story, there is some to it, and then you can open up a horde mode once you complete all the missions. So they got a horde mode on top of it. But literally the sound effects, the feeling of the game, all of that stuff. There's some parts of it that you will see that you go, okay, this looks like a low budget AA game, right? Which is what it is. It's a $40 game. It's not a full price game made by a small studio who's never done a big project before. But then there's other parts and details in the game where you're like, dang, this holds up well against a lot of the big AAA titles as well. The gunplay feels well. The movement is done very well. And again, like Mav said, there are some bugs. I think they released a patch today, though. They're supposed to fix some of that stuff. But overall, great game. Again, Aliens is hard to do. A lot of people have failed, and this team has pulled it off. Mav, you got anything else to add to that?
I just think first the explanation you're having of like the team, right? This is like such a great first showing. Like I would not hesitate if I was looking to look for a team to handle licensed content like this. Yeah, I would go to them in a heartbeat, because this is like it's not the biggest AAA game, but it is a great time to go and play with friends, and they did such a great job staying true to the source material. That's got those little nuggets for like the true fans of the franchises and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm the biggest Aliens fan, but I know enough about it to spot that stuff. And playing with people that were more like, it's like they're spotting all these little things that I didn't know about, right? Or that I didn't remember because I didn't pay as much attention to it, right? But in the levels, like the campaigns, we played through 2 of the like big levels yet. Right. And I'll call them campaigns or chapters or whatever. I don't know exactly, but each one of them is made up about like 3 or 4 stages, right? And they kind of get harder as you go, and they actually make you have to strategize and think about what you're going to do, and it's actually provides a challenge for it, so which is good. A lot of times these games you can just kind of run through or whatever. It it has a few bugs here and there, but for day one at launch, you just were able to play it instantly, and it worked, right? It's just such a great game. Like
it's it's a combination of games too. Like there's a variety of enemies. We just got introduced to new enemies last night. There's a cover system, like Gears or like Division. As Mav has the feeling of Division, there's a cover system. You're not using it when you're fighting aliens, but when you do use it when you're fighting other enemies. So there's a mix up there, a nice mix of different styles. The classes are all well done. There's five classes, right? 4, 5, 5 classes. 5. And the weapons are unique. There's tons of attachments. There's tons of stuff to get. So yeah, overall great game.
Yeah, I would like to see them do more in the future with different types of IPs. Like there's so much crappy license stuff that used to come out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And for them to like nail this on their first attempt, it just shows like, hey, like let's give this team more money, a bigger budget, and more IP, and see what they can create. Because I would be looking forward. From now, if I found out that this dev is working on another franchise or licensed product that I enjoy, I'm going to be looking forward to that because I have a little bit of trust in what they can put out. Guns feel great too, guys. That's the biggest takeaway. There's also all these like screen effects that they do with like challenge cards and stuff.
Yeah,
which, changes the game.
Black and white. And,
it's just crazy. Everything was well implemented. I had a couple of audio bugs. One that was driving me up the wall.
Bonkers.
I mean, yeah, it was driving me crazy. And then occasionally we have disconnects, and it's not just a disconnect where like, hey, hop back in. It's like everybody has to like leave and quit the game and go back in to get back together. But I think they're going to get that stuff kind of worked out. Like,
shout out to Cold Iron Studios. So that's who it is. Yep.
Yeah, we got off track with that, but that is worth talking about. I'm glad we did actually.
Well, why not? Aliens is a very awesome franchise that doesn't deserve to be kind of lost in the wayside.
Correct.
And I mean, just in my mental, the way I look at it, when you go back in time and you want to talk about the golden age of Hollywood before digital, before the advent of digital graphics, I think Aliens, the movie Aliens itself, especially that was the one that involved basically the colonial Marines, and that shows you just how much can go into the production of a movie and trying to create an atmosphere and look by just using the things around you. And it's really nice to see that part of Aliens is still being used to this day, because I feel like that's like some of the most iconic memories from that franchise.
Yeah, dude, 100%, man. I'm probably gonna play some more of that tonight, to be honest with you guys. Like, it's just having a blast.
Well, now I guess I gotta buy it because I've been listening.
Yeah, it's $40.
I'm hyped.
It's $40 in the store. I'm hoping it has a big enough audience to keep it going and stuff. But regardless, like Jasper, our friend Jasper, he's beat this game pretty much by himself. So you can still play this by yourself, where you get 2 bots that roll with you. Right, alpha and beta.
Jasper's superhuman though when it comes to to shooters. So it is tough by yourself. It is tough by yourself. Yeah. Don't expect it to be easy. But yeah,
if you're Jasper, you can't beat this game by yourself.
Yeah,
all right.
He doesn't even need the bots.
12/8, 12/8, guys. That's the date for Halo. We're also getting on November 15th, the 20th anniversary of Xbox. We're getting Halo controller, Halo console. Thoughts on the release date? I know the lady was able to nab one of these consoles. I'm a little jealous. What are y'all's thoughts on 12/8?
Well, I mean, it makes sense to be the last shooter out of the 3 that, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo, being the last, meaning that people are going to be picking up your game, because you know that's usually what happens. You know, you play a game and a new one comes out, you stop, play that. So you know, picking that date in December, at least it's the first week in December. So
how long again is it after Vanguard?
Vanguard is November the 5th, I think. So it's over a month
that's
away.
why it's in a different month for sure, because Xbox have that tie with Activision.
Plus,
so they have to promote that first.
I think they wanted as much time as possible, and we're trying to pick the last possible date to release it before Christmas. So that's what I think is going on here, because they don't want to have a couple week delay or anything like that, or they don't want to announce a month delay or anything. I think they're like, okay, what is the best possible way we can get this team the most time? Because honestly, business wise, December the 8th doesn't make a lot of sense, right? If you're looking at Xbox, there's only like a 2-week gap after Battlefield and COD, right? There's a whole month gap from COD to Halo. They could go like that week of November 15th and 19th that I know, Lupa, we talked about before, right? And have a huge success riding that wave of the 20th anniversary of Xbox. So to not launch that week, to me, just says, hey, we want as much time as humanly possible to get every bug we can possibly get out of the game. So that's what my thinking is.
I think it's also a little bit part of we're getting Forza Horizon 5 in November as well. So this way they can say, look, we got a AAA game here in November. We got another AAA game here in December. I think that's why they picked December as well. Instead, because they could have easily just went and given us a third week of towards the end of November.
That's a good thought, dude. I wonder if Game Pass being this new thing where maybe the dates aren't as important as they used to be with with that kind of stuff, like I don't know. I want to know, Kate, like 12/8, is that good for you?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care. I'm a little surprised they didn't want to hit that anniversary mark, but I guess they're doing is that when the console comes out?
November 15th when the console comes out.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just excited to play it and glad it didn't get delayed again. So I'm good with it.
Cool. Centurion 12/8 thoughts.
They have their reason. They have their ways of picking this date. I mean, they have access to analytics that tell them when people are actually more at home. In my opinion, Wednesday, middle of the week, most people aren't going out to eat. They're probably at home cooking a meal. I mean, it's probably a perfect day where everybody's pretty much going to have time to really check out Halo. I mean, they're picking about when would be the most optimal time that basically anybody and their grandmother could basically check out Halo, and why not Wednesday in the middle of the week? I mean, it's pretty much the middle of the week. Nobody ever really plans much for the middle of the week.
This is true.
It just seems a funny day. It's normally a Tuesday. It's a funny day, Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, at that month, that's probably a good place to go, I guess. I did think it would have been the 19th or even the 23rd the following week to be around the date, if not on it. But I also thought they would give it as much time between Vanguard and them as possible. So, and they didn't want it to be too near to Forza Horizon 5 either. So I think I think December the 8th is just a funny day, though. A Wednesday, it's really weird. But yeah, it's all good. Everybody's getting what they want. I just hope they really bring it, because if they don't, well, they're going to get ripped to bits anyway. But if they're ripped to bits for the truth, that's going to be worse than being ripped to bits for not being the truth. If you understand what I'm trying to say. Because they're going to be ripped to bits by people are always going to find
especially without the co-op, right? You're already kind of setting yourself. There's the biggest thing with that is they're setting themselves up, right?
And also the thing is, like, it being December the 8th, that's not quite so far away for the 3 months to get the co-op and Forge. So, you know, maybe they're a bit closer than we think. They could easily be.
Yeah.
And they might surprise everybody and release it probably not on day of release, but maybe a month or two after. Who knows?
When they said 3 months, they said 3 months after launch.
Yeah, I know.
So
but
that would
what
be.
I'm saying is December the 8th late, right? By near on a
Mhm.
month. So maybe it won't be 3 months and they'll surprise you like with a shadow drop or something.
Yeah. Well,
You
we'll
never
see.
know.
Pong.
I think people are happy to get their consoles and controllers though, and it's sort of quelled the tide a little bit.
Doesn't the console come with a digital copy of the game?
Yeah, it does. And the console's $549 US,
Yeah,
and it comes with a
$550-ish.
copy of Halo, which makes you save $10 if you're planning on buying it.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing. So it's not like they're like, oh, charge $50 extra if you're trying to get a Series X. That's the one to buy right now if you can get one, right? So if just unfortunately, there's only going to be a limited amount. So
yeah, but see, December the 8th again, there's going to be an awful lot of parents out there that are going to buy that for their kids for Christmas. So I think there will be an awful lot more of them available come December, the month of December.
You would think.
Leading up to Christmas, definitely. The holidays are definitely going to have, it's that time of year where everybody wants to buy for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. So
yeah.
So I have a question. If you have Game Pass, and are going to get Halo that way, can you like gift your code to someone?
Yeah.
That doesn't
usually
have...
Well, sometimes I don't know. Like sometimes they give you a code in the box, and then sometimes it comes just pre-installed on the console.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on how they do it.
Well,
with it being on Game Pass, I would hope that they'd make it like giftable.
I was gonna say every special edition console I've got always came with the little magical scratcher ticket card that you get the quarter out and scratch the little dust off, and you get a code.
Yeah, well,
I think they did a couple that were pre-installed.
What was it? Cyberpunk 2077. That edition 1X console. That code was tied to your console.
Oh,
so you could not gift it.
That game was not on Game Pass, though, right?
No,
that was not. So
not yet.
I don't know if they will allow that because it's in Game Pass, so they might not allow.
I think it should be giftable, personally.
If it's tied to the console, so
when I bought the Gears console, I was such a big Gears fan that I had already been rewarded by Microsoft, like I think more than once, all the Gears games, like free of charge. And when I bought the Gears console, it came with them again. And I actually gave that to a friend who used every single one of them, like unheated. I mean, all you had to do is put the codes in. Yeah. So this is like, I didn't know they did that with the Cyberpunk console.
Let's get to the super chat.
We'll see.
Lord Ruffness, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, I'm happy with December 8th. All the talk about the 20th anniversary date made no sense to me. As they tried to launch last year, it's ready. Let's go. Yeah, for me, like the reason I was thinking the 20th anniversary is because last year, the big thing was the launch of the consoles. So they were trying to hit that, which is a huge event, right? And then they had, once they made the decision to delay, what's the next major event that lines up with the 20th anniversary of Xbox? And not only that, the 20th anniversary of Halo. It just was thinking, okay, well, if they missed the launch of the Xbox Series X and S, then maybe they could hit the 20th anniversary, right? So that's like another opportunity just to generate marketing hype and everything, and a bigger like commotion about the game and everything. Yeah, a huger. Yeah,
huger. I haven't seen too many people upset about the date. Do you think the console coming out on that date instead kind of like was enough for people?
I think people are just so excited that the console looks as badass that it does and the controller that they're just kind of talking about that. And I think that I think for me, honestly, the December 8th date just means that, hey, the game is going to be a little bit more polished,
That
probably,
much better.
you know, just that a little bit more better than it would have been in November. So it's not like a huge deal.
Does the Elite controller come out that same day also?
I think it comes out on November 15th with the Series X. I'm not 100% on that though. But I was a little disappointed that they didn't announce a regular like series controller, a Halo controller that's sold separately, other than the one that comes bundled with
the console,
custom console.
Maybe they will.
A lot of Halo fans may want to buy a custom controller, but don't want to spend
$200
on an Elite controller, right?
I agree with you.
For me, like, I got
my Forza Horizon 5 one, so I'm happy.
Yeah, but even that one's really cool. But that one it's like $75 for a controller.
You want to see how many people are kicking off about it's ugly, it doesn't tie in with Forza. It does, because it's actually the festival fireworks going off, and the festival.
It's like that smoke,
Horizon,
right? Or
yeah, the Horizon Festival colours and smoke and fireworks that all go off around the Horizon Festival hub. So it does tie in quite well.
Yeah,
actually. And I like it because it's different.
Pong, 12-8. You think I saw you kind of shaking your head when I was saying about the get just more as much time as possible, because they can't go any later than that. You know what I mean? So, thoughts.
Campaign's coming in as hot as an ODST drop, let me tell you. So they are taking as much time as they possibly can. You know, again, just glad it's going to be this year. We talked about this, that, you know, I was in the camp of you don't delay. So I'm just glad they're going to make this year. It is what it is. We're going to have to wait and see the final product. There's no judging it now. We can talk all we want until we're blue in the face about possibly what's happening behind the scenes, but we got a date. So whether they're ready or not, it's coming. You know, and again, I just hope that this extra time that they've actually got will result in a much better you know, end result. I hope they use it. Obviously they will be, but I hope that what they bring us, you know, lives up, especially without the co-op and without the Forge, as we talked about last week. This has got to crush. It's got to hit all the right notes, and if it does, all will be forgiven, all will be forgotten, and life moves on. If it doesn't, it's gonna be a long few months for them, for 343, unfortunately, because there's going to be a lot of criticism to throw around. But at the end of the day, the multiplayer is what's necessary. You know, I am a little bit, I don't know. I guess for me, again, as a casual Halo fan, it doesn't mean anything either way. So it is what it is. I think that if you are going to go with the way that Joseph Staten has described this, as he did as a games of a service, and he was saying, well, you know, games of service, you know, we keep working on them. That's kind of the name of the game. Then I think they should release the multiplayer early. So that's what I would have done. I would have gotten that out there, maybe even on the 20th anniversary, maybe in October, to iron out all the kinks on the multiplayer, make sure it's all firing on all cylinders when that single player does hit. But they're not going to do that, and I get it. So, you know, December 8th is it. Get ready, buckle up. It's going to be crazy coming up to that date. I can't wait to see. Like I said, I expect them to have a huge Halo show prior to it to show us the single player, you know, in all of its glory, whatever that may entail. And I expect it's going to be, like I said, right around the anniversary. At least if I was Microsoft, that's what I would do. You have to celebrate the anniversary in some way. I know December 8th is the day right after Bungie's 30th anniversary, which is a huge date in obviously Halo history still. And they obviously talked to Bungie about this. Obviously, there might be some coordination there as to what they're going to do. But I think that you give the fans something around the anniversary. And if that is a, you know, gigantic blowout on the single player, more multiplayer news, everything, show it off, you know, and celebrate Master Chief and what he means to the gaming industry, then I think that's that would be best case scenario. I'd love to see it.
So, Pong, do you think that we could see a situation where they keep saying, oh, we're going to launch the Halo single player and multiplayer together? They keep saying that. They reiterated it again.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think there is a chance that, you know, you could release the open beta a couple weeks beforehand and just leave it live, right? That way you're kind of not having that like huge day one overload of players jumping into the multiplayer, and people are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to the term beta. You know what I mean? They're not going to get crushed as much with having server issues on day one.
Correct. That would totally make sense. Like I said, that was my biggest deal with this. Like, I just don't, because we all know it doesn't matter how much you prepare. It doesn't matter how big the game is. We've seen Call of Duty year after year on launch day still have some kind of issues. We've seen Battlefield nonstop, time after time again, have issues after issues. We've seen Halo in the past when everybody jumps on. You just cannot prepare for that amount of traffic hitting your servers all at the same time. So that's why I always said that multiplayer is going to be the diamond to Halo forever. That it is just what it is. I know that the campaign is a fan favorite. Obviously, again, you don't become this big as Halo without both of them hitting. But what I'm saying is that multiplayer, you want to be refined and working the minute that people get their game, whether it's on launch day, whether it's all the kids getting it on Christmas Day. Whatever the case may be, is whoever, by that point when those masses are logging in, you want that multiplayer running top notch. And that's why I said launch it early and get all the bugs worked out so that when everybody gets their hands on it, I think what you're planning right there, Mav, I think that would be perfect. That if they opened up, like maybe let's say a portion of it, called it a beta, didn't unlock everything, didn't have all the maps, didn't have all that stuff, but unlocked a good portion of it and just had people rolling in, playing it nonstop while they get ready to launch the full thing and then flip the switch. And they know that they've got the server capacity ready and they know that everything else has been worked out in the meantime. I think that would be perfect. I love that idea.
Okay, man.
Yeah, do you think that, I think that like in November, maybe a couple more flights will happen?
They're going to have another flight.
Yeah, for sure. They've already announced
one, but like maybe one in September, one in November, or a couple in October even.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a good few months yet.
Depending on what they need to test, for sure.
Yeah, we got big team battle coming up.
Months.
So I'm thinking either end of September, beginning of October. So that's crazy, man. We're almost at the end of the freaking year. This year has blew my mind.
It's nuts. Yeah, absolutely crazy, dude. That's a good segue because what we're going to talk about with our last thing is the holiday lineup. For what's going to be playable on Xbox this holiday season over the next few months, right? Over the next few months is looking just absolutely freaking crazy. And not just from the first party, but like just in general. But first, we're going to get to the super chat from Lord Ruffness with the $5 super chat. Thank you again so much, dude. He says, I was surprised with the push back for no co-op. I've always played Halo since Combat Evolved. Lights off, headphones on, single player zoned. For me personally, that's the way I also have always taken in the campaign first. But there's a lot of people that first thing they do is play co-op. So it's not necessarily like Halo is the one thing about Halo is different for different people, right? Some people love Halo because they love to play with maps and custom game modes and multiplayer. They don't even play the traditional multiplayer. Yeah, some people only like the competition of the competitive multiplayer. Some people only like the campaign and only play it solo. Some people only play co-op campaign and play it over and over and over again. And it's just Halo is such a big thing that is so many different things to different people. That's why this hits hard for a lot. For me personally, it doesn't affect me. But there is that percentage of people for sure that's what they look forward to most. And if what you're looking forward to most is taken out of the game, then it's kind of like, oh, that sucks. Now, I will say this too. Other games that are coming out that are full price games don't even have online co-op that should. So I'm not saying that you can compare those to Halo, but for the bang for the buck, what you're getting at launch here is probably still superior to a lot of other games that come out for $60 at launch. So there's a lot of different ways of looking at things. And ultimately, it's a big disappointment and a black eye on 343 for not having made this such a priority to begin with, that it's at launch. But in the end of the day, a year later, it may not be that big of a deal, right? So we'll see how everything goes. But they got to deliver. The one thing that this has done is this put more attention on them, and they have to deliver even more than they were going to with the quality of the game. Because with this delay of the co-op, if the campaign doesn't deliver a really polished experience, they are going to get absolutely annihilated.
Hey, Mav, speaking of which, before we move to the next topic, I know we got to finish up here, but just real quick, I wanted your guys' opinions, because especially, anybody who was a giant Halo fan, what did you think about the experience announcement kind of faux pas today? That you're only going to be able to earn experience through the challenges for your season pass.
I don't give a shit about that.
You don't?
Personally. Okay. For me, like, I don't ever even pay attention to that when I'm playing any of these games that have experience, right? Like Call of Duty, Battlefield.
But this was for the season pass. That's why I was asking, because you're going to be buying the season pass, and I know you get to keep it forever, so it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, earning towards that, you just don't give a shit anyways.
Well, I remember that they said like you can swap out challenges for ones that you like, as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's ways around that for people that are like upset about it. Maybe it's a way of engaging with people more. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. I've seen some people, like you said, like just get absolutely crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this game is trash now. And I'm like, did anybody even care when you like, is that what you're thinking when you're playing Halo? You know what I mean? I understand there's a grind aspect for people with the levels and stuff, but like that's never been what Halo's been about in the past.
Right.
So why does that matter now?
I just think because obviously some people for first person shooters, it's different, obviously. And some people go into it. Like for me, Battlefield, I care what my experience is, right? So I'm looking to move up to that next level, open up those next weapons, blah, blah, blah. And again, I understand when I saw this, I was like, well, it's the season pass, so it's all cosmetic. You get to keep the season pass forever. So really at the end of the day,
Battlefield or COD when you're unlocking weapon attachments and stuff like that. Like this is, you're not reaching for those things because in Halo you have all the weapons. Could you imagine if they did that? And it did. Oh my God! You know what kind of
says he doesn't care.
Yeah, 3-bit doesn't care
about that,
but he understands.
But I can see how some peeps will get upset since your games don't earn anything. I think it will halt progression for peeps trying to rank up fast.
Right.
For me, this is just one of those things where, like, hey, not every game is created like it's the same. Like, it makes sense for Battlefield and Call of Duty where they have all those weapon attachments and weapon customizations to unlock. That's part of the fun of playing those games, that grinding aspect. This game doesn't have that. If it could, like Pong, if they implemented that in order to have a reason to be able to grind your XP, do you know what the Halo community would do? They would absolutely fucking explode. It would be, oh my God. Like, so
destroy 343.
You gotta like make stuff that makes sense for the game, and maybe this is what they settled on right now. Not saying that it's gonna be the right answer, but if all you're playing for these games for is to a multiplayer shooter is to gain experience, then like I mean, you're not unlocking anything but cosmetics in this game. So that's kind of, I don't know. It's not a big deal to me.
Okay. All right. I just wanted your opinion. So
yeah,
I had heard about it.
I was just reading our private chat. All right. So moving on, multiplats and first party is absolutely smashing Xbox in the next few months. Far Cry 6, Dying Light 2 comes out the day before Halo, right? But do you think maybe that's why they went on Wednesday, so they didn't have the same date as Dying Light 2? Because that is a big. Don't they have marketing deal with?
They got marketing stuff, but also because Bungie's having a special for their 30th too, on the 7th. Right. So I think that was more.
It's part of the reasons. Yeah.
Because really, it doesn't matter. To Dying Light 2, it's going to suck either way. December 7th or December 8th, it really didn't matter. It's tough. I can't imagine how that conversation went with Techland, but what are you gonna do?
So those things people aren't really think about too. Like, hey, what else is coming? That's so it's just interesting. But man, we got Far Cry, Dying Light 2, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo, Forza, The Gunk, Scorn,
Far Cry 6.
Crossfire X.
Yep. Diablo 2.
Super Monkey Ball, yeah.
Diablo 2.
Diablo 2 Resurrected.
We've got Back for Blood.
Riders Republic.
Tales of Arise.
Moonglow Bay.
Yeah, Moonglow Bay, October.
Yeah, Moonglow Bay.
I actually can't wait for that.
Saints Row, February 25th.
Yeah, that's in 2022.
That's 2022. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't see that bit. I wrote off the edge of the page.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Forza. We got the anniversary edition of
Forza,
Skyrim.
Yeah, don't forget Forza.
Yep,
My biggest
Forza.
look forward to.
Anniversary edition of Skyrim, which is still going to be a big deal, whether you believe it or not. People are going to be all over that.
Centurion, how are we going to play all these games?
25th anniversary, Pong.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's true.
Yes.
I already don't have enough time to already play all these games. I'm still a little confused on, like, no offense, this isn't directed at anybody, but how the hell does anybody find time to whine and complain with all these freaking games? Like, I mean, like, I would be like, okay, I got to plan out every minute of my day to play all these games. I don't got time to film. I don't got time to sit and complain about things. Let's just play some games and do this.
Some people will never be happy, Centurion, or want anybody else to be happy. That's what it is, man.
You're happy? No,
I don't moan about nothing. I don't do Twitter either.
There's
you
also
saw
that
Lupa jump all over me
game.
for liking the show, so you know.
No, I said the first day. The first day was shit. Anybody will tell you the pacing was terrible.
Not me.
But it wasn't like moaning. I was asked an opinion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's not just
trying to
like,
bring me down.
It's not just putting your like thoughts out there. Oh, this was so trash on Twitter. It's like when somebody asks you, "What did you honestly think?"
Nobody can bring you down.
Pong's living on a high. Living on a high.
There was also that Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, there's that one. Well done, Kaitlin. I'm hoping that it's going to be a lot better than Marvel Avengers.
Yeah,
the Jurassic World.
Oh yeah, Evolution.
Evolution. That's another one. Holy crap! What about these other ones that these strategy games, Pong? Like, was it King's Bounty? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
King's Bounty just came out. King's Bounty just came out. King's Bounty 2. Then we've got
Crusade.
Yeah, well, we got the Crusader Kings 3.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yep, that's going to be out. We've got Spellforce 3 coming out also on December 7th.
Yeah,
Age of Empires for computer. Yeah.
4,
Can you explain Spellforce more? Because I know you've probably done more research than I have. I just watched the trailer, but that looks pretty freaking awesome.
It is an
Xbox, right?
Yeah, that's coming to Xbox. Pretty big deal. It got it's like not that anybody cares about ratings, but some people do. But just give you a rough idea, it was it's like 77 on Metacritic, MetaWho. For the PC, but a lot of people actually like the Spellforce series because it kind of combines, from what I've read, is a combination of RTS and action RPGs. And a lot of people really, really like it. Plus, it's got a co-op campaign to it, which not a lot of RTSs do. So I think that is freaking amazing. It's just another. It's coming from THQ too. THQ is publishing it. And I just really, again, you know, Mav, you and I go back on this. RTSs and strategy games are just a niche. We get it. They're niche. They're not big. They're not big, especially on consoles, because it's so hard to get the controls right on the controller. But it's been done. It's been done time and time again. And if it's not perfect, a lot of us console-only players get used to it. And because we've never used a mouse and keyboard, we don't know any different, and we can still play really well at it. So I think that this is a big step forward now that we're starting to see these games come over and starting to be put out, because I think this is one group of games that is missing from the consoles as a whole in the industry. And I think they got to find a way to start bringing them, because there is a large enough group of people that has been waiting for them that don't have PCs that would play the hell out of them if they did come to console. So I was really excited to see Spellforce 3 and Crusader Kings 3 coming. Crusaders King 3 is a little different. It's a complete strategy game. It is
Yeah.
it is kingdom management. Go watch some YouTube videos. If you have, I'm going to love the hell out of this game. But if you want to talk about kingdom management, man, go check this. Go check some YouTube videos out from some of the guys who play it on PC. It's ridiculous. So, but yeah, you played it. Okay, yeah, it's insane. Yeah, and they're not doing a direct port. They're actually modifying it for the consoles. So, which is a cool, which is cool, which is really cool. So I can't wait to see what they do with it. But yeah, Spellforce 3 comes out in December. So anybody looking for that RTS fix, look for that December 7th. So I can't wait. Go look at the videos. It looks awesome. Mav and I might be playing co-op whenever he doesn't play Halo. So
yeah. It's just like so much freaking stuff, man. Kate just put a link in the chat.
Yeah.
So
we break it down by month.
And we just named the big stuff. We're not even talking about the indies that are coming out. It's just insane, man.
How are we going to grind on that Battlefield and play Far Cry? How am I going to do that and play Far Cry 6 and then play Halo and then play this other stuff? That's like, I feel like I am leaving genres out that I love a lot because there's just not enough time to dive into it. Because for me, really, to get into an RTS or a strategy game, you kind of have to invest a lot of time to learn all the things and the mechanics and get quick and get fast at it.
And you can't go away from it and come back, otherwise you forget everything. So
especially me. I can't remember anything. So a game like that is like awesome, and I'm like so looking forward to playing it. But then I'm like, oh man, like I want to play Aliens Fireteam Elite tonight.
Oh yeah, Halo.
Yeah.
Oh dude,
I'm just making sure because that was my only kind of idea, like dabbling into an RTS, I guess, like kind of like RTS casual, I guess, from what I've heard, what people say. But there was still times where you're getting this little icon going off, and you look over, and you're just like, where the hell did all they come from? What is going on over there?
Yeah, no, I got like 300 hours in the Halo Wars too. Most of it online. So yeah, it's amazing. I love that game.
It's so good, and it has FPS boost now, and it still retains 4K. So it's absolutely insane on the Series X.
So yes, all you crazy Halo fans, go play Infinite nonstop. Go buy all the season passes because I believe we get a Halo Wars 3 as long as Infinite does what it's supposed to do. So
bring more RTS to console, please. Yes. I got a $10 super chat from KY Bob. You're awesome, dude. Thank you again so much. He says, being the 20th anniversary, 20 years ago, we didn't play co-op over live. We played couch co-op split screen. I love all my friends, but in a way, I will enjoy being forced into solidarity for the campaign. That's cool, man. You'll have the co-op to look forward to, right? So, can't really argue with anybody's point on Halo. That's the thing. Is like, I see a lot of going back and forth on Halo, about this, but like, I feel like honestly, the real answer is there's not a winning situation with Halo Infinite since they announced that the co-op was not going to be ready. So once they made that announcement, there's no winning scenario, and everybody at some point, no matter who is going, no matter what decision they make, there's somebody that's going to be upset a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And majority of the players are playing campaign, and there is a small fraction of co-op players that want to play. So it's like, do you want to, bring out the game later and everybody be upset, or bring out the game early without co-op and Forge to make the majority of the players happy? And then we'll get, and to me, I'm still on the fence of we possibly could still see co-op sooner than what they announced. I know they said, but I think that was just a time frame. For me, I think that was just giving themselves a window, but to make everybody happy, they could probably fix this and bring it in possibly at the launch date. That's why why we got a later December date than a November date, to have that possibility. So at the end of the day, we're all going to be playing multiplayer mostly anyway. So, I just want to get my hands on it already.
See, if I could hop on that comment, I just went earlier with the super chat. I'm not, at least the group that I hang out in, when we play single player games together, we're not sharing, we're not co-oping. We're all playing our own version of the game. We're trying to keep up with each other. But I mean, there's times I've been in a party chat where someone hushes you because you are interrupting the story. And I mean, this looks like a good story. I was drawn in by the conversation between Master Chief and New Cortana alone.
Yeah.
I got to know more. And I've got some friends that literally, like, I mean, they got like an AC unit pouring down on them, and you can hear so much background noise coming from their microphone that, I mean, like, generally in experiences like that, I am like not in a party chat. And if we are, I mean, we're all being silent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get distracted playing the campaign with like, I don't care after I've experienced the story, really, you know, but like, I want to play at my pace when I'm playing the first time.
Well, I've got one friend that loves to speed run everything. So the minute you co-op, this dude's a mile ahead of you, and by the time you walk in the room, it's like, is there one left for me to shoot? Just one?
Right.
Nope, don't got that.
Oh, I kind of bear that.
So yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own play style, so you never want something like that to influence your first playthrough. And normally when you're co-oping the game with friends, that's generally when you're screwing around.
Yeah.
In the back of the head, you're like, hey, did you guys see this? And I mean, you're like exploring the world. You're kind of like goofing off almost.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. You know, usually campaign, I play it by myself. I solo run campaign first, and then I go do co-op, so I can get the experience, so I can get the story, immerse myself in the game, and then mess around with my buddies, you know, and that's with co-op, and that's, you know, that for me, that like, it's perfect. I can get the experience single player by myself, and then I can go into co-op later. So I mean, it's we can't please everybody, you know, and at least, you know, we get to play it, you know, this year at least.
Even without co-op, all eyes are on Halo. Yes. Everybody is still talking about Halo. Out of all the social media stuff I watch, I see some people talking about Battlefield. No offense to the Call of Duty fans, but Vanguard is going to be and never was, not trying to steal someone else's title there. But I mean, like, really, they're tackling World War II again. I really feel that's going to be detrimental almost to the Call of Duty franchise, because I feel people are just World War II'd out. And now we got Halo, and everybody is still talking about Halo. I feel Microsoft has really paced things out. We're getting a little bit of a dabble now at Gamescom. We could probably have some other stuff between now and the release of the console. And then finally, everything's going to be capped off December 8th with Halo Infinite, the release. And I mean, like, all eyes are on Halo. All we can really hope for is that 343 at least knocks it out of the park with the portions of the game that they do release.
Yeah. Well, for me, Vanguard to me is just like a remake or a remaster of Call of Duty 2. You know, it just feels like the location and everything. That's what it feels like. So I've already played Call of Duty 2, you know, and if you have prettier graphics, I mean, that's cool. But, you know, it's like how much, I don't know. When they announced it was going back to World War II, I wasn't thrilled. And I was like, you know what, we got Battlefield 42, and then we got Halo coming out, and those are the two shooters that will take my time. And I think what I'm going to be playing, I'm going to sleep on Call of Duty until it goes on sale for like $20.
I was just say, I enjoy the campaigns of Call of Duty. That's generally what I play. I don't have too many friends who play Call of Duty religiously. And so I'm generally buying Call of Duty around $20-$30. And that's for like the gold edition with everything, just in case somebody wants to play multiplayer. But for the most part, I'm not playing current versions of Call of Duty unless I have friends that are playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never not bought a Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2. So am I not going to buy Call of Duty?
I've
probably. Did you skip the last one?
I skipped a lot of them.
Yeah.
I skipped Black Ops.
I mean, since Modern Warfare 2, I haven't really got into back into the Call of Duty. I know Black Ops is amazing, but you know, someone let me borrow a copy, and I played it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I was done with it. You know, I don't know. Call of Duty is Call of Duty.
See,
Did any of you guys? What did you guys think of Demon Slayer? That's out October 15th as well.
Oh, I love the anime. That anime is freaking phenomenal. So I can't wait.
Cool. We'll see. Some of those games are like, this one's Sega, which is like I'm used to these anime games being like Namco Bandai, right? Or Bandai Namco, whatever. But this one's Sega, so I'm interested to see what they do with it. I want to get to this super chat too from 108 Dragons TV. Shout out to Lemon, $5. He says, "Panel is lit. Pong, my guy Centurion, my guy, and shout out to the panel. Let's go. Halo to the death. It will be fine. Relax." Yeah. Halo draws a lot of attention. I'm not too worried, to be honest with you, because I know it's Halo and I'm going to have fun. But I also understand that there are people that, you know, are upset that it's not at launch with that. So it is what it is. As far as COD though, it's got a lot. They got a lot of other controversy too. Was that?
Did you catch Bob's super chat?
I think so.
Being the 20th century anniversary, 20th anniversary one. You caught that? Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I did, didn't I?
Well, there was a second one. That's what I said. 20 years ago, we didn't play co-op over live. I don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, I think I did.
Couch co-op split screen. I love all my friends, but in a way, I will enjoy being forced into solidarity for the campaign.
Yeah, I remember you saying that one.
I read that one.
I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks though for looking out, because it is possible for me to miss these. I don't ever want to miss one.
We also forgot to mention Song of Iron.
Oh, we do.
Which Joe was nice enough to be on the show last week.
We've got 3 days to go.
We non-stop pump Song of Iron. I can't wait.
Me too.
Yeah,
hey, Pong. Hey, Pong.
That's in just a couple days too.
Yep.
Yes, it's on the 31st. 4 days. 3 days away. 3 days for me.
31st.
Already 4 in the morning.
Yeah, we're not in UK time.
I'm in UK time. No, Pong, I was going to ask you. You know, you was talking about that spell game.
Yeah, Spellforce.
Yeah. Have you ever played Spellbreak?
Yeah, I did not like Spellbreak.
No, I didn't think you would. I was just asking. I love the look of it. I don't know if I could keep up with it.
Yeah, 2 different styles.
I've watched it being streamed. Yeah, I was just gonna add that. Is it anything like that other one?
Oh no. This is an RTS, more strategy RPG style game.
Oh, not for me then. See, as soon as you say strategic,
I know.
Tactics or turn-based, I was out of there.
Well, the next Assassin's Creed is going to be a tactics game. How do you feel about that?
Good, that's not true. That's
I know you'll try that if that was a tactics game. You try it.
I'd try it, but I doubt I'd get on with it. I'm too eager. I don't know what the word is. I'm too I have to be doing it. I have to be in there, and I hate this setting up everybody where they're meant to be and then press a button and sit and watch while they do it all. No, that's not gaming for me. I want to be an integral. Thank you, Phasma. Integral part of it.
Did you ever play Jurassic Park Evolution?
No, because that's another thing that would drive me mad. Dude, I don't want to do things that I have to do in real life in a game, thanks. I want to be taken into fantasy where I'm superhuman.
Wait a minute. You get to actually clone and farm dinosaurs in real life?
Yeah.
No, but look
you just said you just said things in real life. I'm just like, I am mind blown right now.
I mean.
Which
like,
she is in the UK.
Does it matter if it's dinosaurs or fucking lions? You still got to clean out their shit and house them and.
Well, I didn't have problems with that. Actually, the game didn't get that in depth, but I mean, definitely, you know, it's exciting when all of a sudden you get those little messages on the screen that something is loose in the park, and you see people screaming and running to their little shelters. And
no, well, my issue with the game though, real quick, is that the fencing, nothing was able to be kept in, no matter how you upgrade the fencing. I was like, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a bug and we're trying to fix it. And hey, they still haven't fixed the damn thing. So
well, if you know how to actually properly keep them happy, that's the funny part. Actually, they have a disposition, and you actually have to learn how many you can put in one pin and who gets along with who. It actually makes you read.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen it. I've seen it being streamed, and it's not for me. It's like, you know,
Oh,
all these
sometimes it's
people
like
in
watching
hospital.
paint
You got to
dry.
build a
I'll be
hospital
absolutely
range.
honest.
Yeah, exactly. It's a similar thing to tactics or turn-based for me. It's
But
like,
well, there's
no!
times they make it hairy where it's like, okay, here it is. You have nothing but carnivores on your island, and all hell is breaking loose. Figure it out starting now. It's like, okay, this is great.
Yeah, I don't like the stressful situations in the RTSs. I like or strategy games. I like, okay, I want to, when I play a game like that, I want to sit back, relax, like play at my pace. And like when I play RTS games, even like I'm like a turtle style player. Like I like to build up my base and build up my defenses as big as possible and just let them come and try and destroy me and fail miserably. And then I just use my army as just sitting there ready to go and then wipe out their base. But man, Pong's good at RTS. Speaking of, we're talking about strategy games. About a dream game for me, like make a Halo Wars 3 style game, but then include like factions from other Xbox franchises and IPs as playable. Like you could have a Gears, you could have the COG, you could also have the Locust, you could have stuff from like Skyrim now, you could have Doom. Oh, dude, like there's like so many possibilities if you think about like
an RTS mashup between all those. Oh my god!
I'll be building up Brewmax
bro,
left and right, and
get creative assembly. They've done Halo Wars.
Building up dragons left and right to take out your Brewmax.
Got the Doom Marine running out in front of the horde with the sword, just pointing it in the next direction that everybody's just going to start running amok.
Yeah, can you imagine the battles though? The battles would be incredible.
Oh my gosh, I would live for that, dude. That would be absolutely amazing. Hey, somebody make it. They made my Marvel XCOM style game. Somebody is, so like maybe make this one now. Shout out to Dirt Griggity from We Bleed Green podcast. Absolutely awesome. He says with a $5 super chat, what's up, folks? Halo Infinite has a huge bullseye on its back. Hopefully 3 for 3 shut these people up. I agree. They did a lot of talking with that flight. Right, they shut people up with the flight. It didn't take long when they tripped over themselves a little bit again. When they had to make that announcement about co-op for people to get back on their back. But we'll see what happens when the game actually drops. Either they're going to give more fuel, or they're going to shut a lot of people up. And I'm hoping it's the latter. So let's go Halo. Be good. I'm hoping it's polished. Like it could not be the best Halo game ever, but if I don't want it to release buggy, because that's going to be like really bad. And I don't think it's going to be. I think this is the reasons they went with the decisions that they did. So I think it's going to be a good experience. I honestly can't think of a Halo campaign that I played at launch and the traditional Halo games that was like super buggy at launch or anything. You know what I mean? But this is different. It's open world. Never done that before. We'll see. All right, guys. Anybody got any like final words before we do these outros here? Any last thoughts? Anything?
Just give us the flight test and this way, so I can, because I missed out on the last flight test, so I need to play some of that Halo.
They didn't say when it is yet, did they?
No, but everything from everyone that's played it loved it. It's super polished. It's super fluid. Mechanics feels phenomenal. The game is just like, it's ready. It's ready to just come out into this world and have us just kill each other and teabag one another.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
That's
go.
what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Even by bots, even though they say it's a bug. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
All right. So, Centurion, dude, it's absolutely awesome having you on the show. Again, this is your second time actually being here, I believe. And awesome thoughts. Awesome job as always. Enjoy seeing you on the podcast that you are on, as well as you make great content for YouTube. Make sure you tell everybody what shows you're on, what you got coming up this weekend on TXR. A huge thing on a game that I forgot. We should have talked about this game. But I feel like if we talk about this game 12 minutes, I could go for another hour because I got a lot to say about it. So
I was going to mention it, but you were on a roll with Halo, so I thought I'd let it go.
Yeah. Oh, hey, real quick before we do this, hey, Micah, it was a $20 huge super chat, dude. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You rock. He says, another great podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Dude, you're amazing with that stuff. So
Thank you, Micah.
Everybody in the chat too. Everybody that's been hanging out. You all freaking are amazing. I saw the chat was awesome again tonight. Lots of awesome people. Just having a lot of fun talking games. Nobody getting like angry with each other, even though we have different opinions, right? That's what it's all about. Like you can have different opinions without like going after each other's throats, right? Like that's what I love seeing that. Centurion, again, tell us about the shows that you're on, and about your awesome YouTube, and about the thing you got going on with TXR.
Well, thank you for having me here. Yes, it is my second time. I was definitely looking forward to it. I definitely will say coming on your guys' podcast is one of those podcasts I reflect on. I had a great time the first time, and I definitely wanted to do it a second time. So thank you, everyone, for letting me come back here. And yes, as you mentioned, this Sunday night on TXR, we have the esteemed honor of actually being able to interview Mr. Luis Antonio. Looks like he's part of the writer and art department and director of, I believe, 12 Minutes. I'm actually trying to get his entire filmography.
Yeah, it's pretty much
but
his creation.
It's his. Yeah,
yes.
He's like a single. Yeah, that's him.
So, and that's where I'm excited. I've been actually trying to grind out 12 Minutes. I mean, I turned it on last night, and all of a sudden about 4 or 5 hours went by, and I had no idea. It was amazing. Definitely a very interesting game. If you can get into the story and definitely the style of the game, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion. I was enjoying it. Now for the other show, we also have Mr. PTK Blam coming back out of hiatus this Saturday. What we like to say 6 p.m. Arizona time. That would actually be 9 p.m. Eastern time on a Saturday. But yes, we're doing another. He's back. We're doing a show with him Saturday night. We're looking forward to that. And if you guys want to find me directly, please find me on YouTube, obviously Twitter and Xbox Live. There on YouTube, you will find on my channel, I just recently did something for Atomic Heart. You'll also find my alter ego fanboy running amok, saying things that are just completely out of this world, and just having a good old time.
Yeah, dude. Again, absolutely awesome. I enjoy having you on the show. So thank you for coming back here. And hope to you come on again in the future again. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, man. Reach out anytime. I actually will. I love the fact you're always streaming, because when I'm like uploading or doing something on my computer at night, I can just flip on YouTube and be like, oh, there's Mav. I'm going to listen to him.
Right on, dude. Yeah, I just have fun playing games and having people stop by. It's makes it more fun for me for some reason. Kate, first in my heart, lovely wife.
Yes.
Hey, tell everybody where they can find you.
I just want to say thanks to Centurion for coming back, and the chat. You guys are like, they always blow my mind. It's like the chat is always just pumping.
Oh, they blow my mind too.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but cool. Sounds like a psycho thing. You can find me on Twitter at KaitlinX0615. You can find me here every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And now you can find me every Wednesday on Fun Pop with Psycho and Mav. Remind me what time that is again.
10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern. And I will see you guys next week.
Heck yeah. And the extraordinary AssassinLupa, where can everybody find you?
You can all find me here on Xbox Ultimate, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time, having a blast on a Friday. And you can also find me on Twitter and Xbox Party Live, AssassinLupa, everywhere. Love you all, guys. Chat, you've been awesome. Thank you so much, Centurion. Been a pleasure. And catch you all gaming.
Thank you, Lupa. Always.
Oh, and I miss Lady. I miss Lady and 3-Bit.
Yeah.
And
Definitely missed 2 of our 7 here tonight. Lady, hope you're feeling better soon. It sucks. You know,
Yep.
it really, really does suck. And 3-bit, hopefully have him back next week. Shout out to you, dude. Miss you as well. Let's move on to the mellow fellow from outer space that has his mind blown.
Mr. Aquarius.
Mr. Aquarius himself.
Aquarius. No,
Where can
thanks
everybody
everybody. Chat, thanks for coming out tonight. You guys were phenomenal. Want to thank Centurion for coming on the show tonight. Sorry that I was late, but you know,
Oh, you're right.
shit happened.
Hey, with a show like that, man, you got to make an entrance.
I know. You're
He
right.
always makes an
Exactly.
entrance one way or another.
Yeah, and so you guys can catch me everywhere at Psychonauts 8 on social media. Tuesdays on Players of Everything, Master of None. This Saturday we have a gaming little get together with Kaitlin and Lady. Hopefully, I don't know now. Maybe.
Hopefully.
And everyone else over there of Noobs and Pros. And Wednesdays, like Fun Pop. And here every Friday with the X7 on Fridays. Love you guys. And shout out to Lady. Hope you feel better. And 3-bit, we miss your brother. And yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. And the encyclopedia of gaming dating back to the very first game ever created, the one and only Pong Soul with an awesome shirt.
I love
Thank you.
your shirt, Pong.
Everybody's got it. Target special, X-Men, of course. But anyways, just an awesome night. I am absolutely exhausted, but always get the energy coming back on here with you guys. It's been awesome. Centurion, thanks, brother, for showing up. And I will see you tomorrow night on the Shop Podcast. I can't believe I get to say that again. It's been too long, man. So, but otherwise, Lady, miss you. 3-bit, miss you. Get back here soon. We love you guys. Family, it's been awesome, as always. Chat, phenomenal discussions. Great to see everybody in there. We can't do this without you. Thank you. So, Friday night is done and in the books. Xbox Ultimate. Tomorrow morning, you know it. Living Split Screen, back again. Steel Rain, myself, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, 3 p.m. UK time. We are going to be there with bells on. Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about because we are not console exclusive. So we got tons of stuff to talk about. It might go 5 hours tomorrow. I hope not, but we might. Steel and I just might. So, but anyways, be there tomorrow morning. And then like Centurion said, the Shop Podcast back again. PTK Blam, Centurion, Fuzzy, and we might have Staggerilla back. And even better, we've got guest tomorrow night. Ains is going to be on there. That's right. Portia Power is going to be on the Shop Podcast tomorrow night. So that's going to be a fantastic show. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time, 6 p.m. Arizona time, as Centurion already talked about. And then next Tuesday, it's Xbox Factor Podcast. That's right. Mr. Boomstick, Double Barrel Gaming. We got Zemi Games. We got 3-bit. We got myself. Mav shows up all the time, so you never know who's going to be there. But Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time, Xbox Factor Podcast. Love you all. Play what you love what you play. It's the golden age of gaming, so enjoy your weekend, everybody. And nothing but respect and love. And we'll talk to you soon.
Heck yeah, dude.
and where can we all find you, Mav?
Hey, I'm right here. Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Too.
Thanks, Lupa. Hey, look at this on Twitter at Fun Speculation. Check out all the updates for content streaming, channel stuff on there on Twitter quite a bit. We will be playing. I'm going to be playing some games tonight. It'll be a late night tonight playing games, so I'll be streaming. If anybody wants to hang out in the chat, that's the more the merrier. And also, guys, don't forget this podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. You can listen to this on the road while you're driving to work if you want to. Hey, it's a good way. That's how I actually take in most podcasts. As well as, like this guy said, we got Xbox Ultimate Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's every Friday for you audio listeners that are listening and you want to catch it live. Catch it here on YouTube with this awesome chat and hang out with everybody. It's a blast. And also we have Fun Pop is finally back. We've had 2 episodes since coming back now, and it's on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. And there is going to be, just like gaming, the next couple months on Fun Pop are going to be pretty heavy because we got a lot of stuff coming out from Marvel and DC and from movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So it's going to be a great time. Chat, you rock. Panel, you rock. Miss you, lady. Miss you, 3-bit. Centurion, what's up, dude?
I've got one thing to say because I've actually wanted to make this joke all night.
Yeah.
Haven't you noticed that Halo, actually Microsoft is copying PlayStation's game style? They dropped the multiplayer.
Oh, and on that note, everybody, have a good night.
Too soon.
Catch you all gaming.
We'll see you guys in the 7th house. We'll see you later.
Is that an Aquarius thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Had to top Aquarius's entrance, had to go out with a bang.
Right.
It's like, I need to throw a grenade.
I love you, chat. You guys rock. And Speculators as well. Shout out to you. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Catch
Later.
you all gaming.